Oh, hello. Welcome to update number 9. We'll roll the credits and then we'll tell you what news we've got in the world of the Glenngary Tramway. So, roll the credits.
Another instalment of the Glenngary Tramway update.
Well, it's been quite some time since we did update number 8. That was back in April, and we're now just about to start October. Unfortunately, this year has been dogged with my bad health, which has been escalating to a point where I'm just getting over a bout of pneumonia, but feeling a lot better now, so hopefully things will take a more upward turn. On the exhibitions front with the tramway, it's been a strange year. A lot of the planned exhibitions, which were mainly at the North York Moors Railway, haven't come to fruition. This is mainly due to the fact that a change of management at the railway, and it took some time for them to rearrange and sort out what their programme events was going to be, by which time, when we knew the dates, most of the layouts were committed in other places. The club does tend to have quite a large portfolio of layouts that are in great demand, and some of these are being booked up to 2 years in advance. So it's been a bit of a staccato year. We haven't done half as many as we planned. Hopefully, if the arrangement continues next year, then we'll be back on course and we can get sorted. Our last outing with the trams was the SDRM's annual show, and that was the flyer for it. Yet another record-breaking year. Numbers were up. The club just seems to go from strength to strength, which on the exhibition front, we're bucking the trend. A lot of shows are struggling with numbers, and one or two of them have gone out of existence, which is a great shame, but we're quite lucky on that front. So we'll have to see what next year brings, but sooner or later the bubble will probably burst. But each year we're getting more and more visitors, and it's this show that funds the year's activities for the club. Right, in typical fashion, I'm going to have to change the battery on the camera because it's flashing to tell me it's going to die any second now. So we'll just do that and we'll be back in a sec. Right, sorry about that. New battery in, so hopefully this one will last a bit longer. As I was saying, the show just goes from strength to strength. One thing the club did try this year was children go free with a paying adult, and so none of the children numbers were counted, yet we still had more people through the door. Inevitably, more children meant that we were kept very, very busy, and that's the way we like it. Our next show is going to be one of our biggest we've ever attended. That's the Great Electric Train Show at Gaydon at the Motor Museum there. This is one big step up to the big league. We're not going alone, we're going with 2 club layouts, Haymarket Cross, and the other one is Goathland in Double O. Both well seasoned exhibition circuit layouts, so we'll have to up our game, and it'll be the first time we've travelled so far. In fact, it's only the second time we'll have taken the trams outside Yorkshire. So we'll have to look into the passport situation, see what that is. But we'll take it anyway, and this is one show that I was keen not to miss. One of the problems, we were invited last year, but due to an email going astray, the organisers weren't sure whether we were going to attend or not. It was only that I got in touch because I hadn't heard anything, and everything's well. We are attending, although we haven't appeared on some of the advertising for the event. However, the organisers, what they've done is they have a big website dedicated to the show, and they've done a nice little feature about the tramway, which I'm very pleased with. And so I think we're going to enjoy this one. As I say, it's a big step up. Not quite sure what to expect, because there's going to be far more numbers than we've previously encountered. We'll just have to see how the hands-on approach works with such a volume of people coming through, but we'll manage. We're quite adaptable, so yeah, really looking forward to that one. A couple of years ago, Chris Nevard of Model Rail magazine came to the club, and he was photographing the Gothland layout, and if memory serves, Rumbling Bridge, Nick Skelton's layout. And while he was there, the committee had asked that we set up the trams for him to take a look. Chris duly took some photographs, although he did say at the time whether we would appear in print, he didn't really know. I've always said all along that we're a little bit on the fringes of the hobby. Most people think of a model railway as a Hornby loco going round some double R track. But I was quite surprised when we got an email a few weeks ago to say that would I do some copy for an article that they were intending to publish in one of their magazines. The magazine in question is this one, and it is comes out twice a year, and it features Model Rail's Great British Model Railways. And lo and behold, a really nice article. The photos have come out really well, and I was blown away actually. As I've always said, we would probably never ever appear in print, not considering its subject matter, but like most things, I can't bloody find it now. Yes, lo and behold, it was there all along. That was the introduction to the layout, and it spans over 2 or 3 pages. So yeah, and the photographs have turned out really, really well. Obviously Chris is a professional. I've tried photographing the funicular quite often, and it's not that easy, usually because the LED lighting confuses the camera settings, and so yeah, full marks. And the beauty of it is current until 2017, when the next issue comes out sometime in spring. So yeah, excellent. Right, you may be wondering where I am actually sat at the moment. It's the spare bedroom we have. I've had to wait a number of years until children all grew up and moved on before I could take vacant possession. It's now become known as the train room, and it's where I retire to do the tinkering, and most of what I make I throw away, because I always think I can do better than that, but I think that's in common with most other people. We'll just give you a quick look around what's in here. As well as Glenngary Tramway, I have a double O gauge layout. That used to be a full circle, but the room is so small, I ended up with bends that were so tight that trains used to throw them off at regular intervals. So what I've done is severely cut it back. It's now an end-to-end layout. It's not had much work done, again due to illness, since I shortened it. So I'll just show you roughly what there is. It really wants all the track relaying, but this time around I've come up with a track plan, and I'm just roughly laid it, or what was already laid, and going to see how that works, run it for a while before I commit to doing all the scenery and everything on it. I always seem to just get near finishing a layout and think, could have done that different, so rip it all up and start again. So don't want to make that mistake again. We'll try and get it right this time, and then just systematically go through it, relay all the track and resort everything out. It's DCC controlled. Most of the locos have sound, double O gauge, and it's controlled by a spare laptop that I have running the Hornby Railmaster software. I find it quite good. It's easy enough to use. It's proved quite reliable, and yeah, we'll just let you have a quick look, and so you know what's going on. So I'll just move the camera and back with you in a minute. Right, this is it, such as it is. This is a small diesel refueling depot. On the back there's going to be some low relief workshop units, so that you could pull the diesels in to do some work on when I get round to that. Coming forward, I can see we come now into a what was the original station, which has now been put over to just goods use. The scenario is that this railway was sandwiched between the town up at the back and down at the front, like a river estuary. So everything had to be crammed in this small area of land. The station has since closed, the terminus station, so everything's been put over to goods. The sheds at the back there, they now just house some carriages. It's where they bring them for light maintenance and cleaning, etc. The line that runs up the back along the wall there actually serves a little terminus station at the end. The only problem with this is that because of the tightness of the site, it involves a reversal. So the diesel, if it was departing, the DMU should I say, would have to pull forward onto this line and then reverse out round through the sidings, etc., and then it would make its way out to the line which exited the site and goes off scene there. In front of it used to be all goods sidings. Now these are just overflow sidings for locos that are stabled. Usually they come onto site, reverse onto there for a while. When they're either needed for the next duty, or they pull forward along here and then have to do a reversal and then back down through this line along the edge of the estuary down to the depot at the far end. As I say, it's a work in progress. It's all been ripped apart so many times. I'm just working out whether it works as an end-to-end. Sometimes you just like to sit and watch a train going round, which I quite miss that, but the problems because of the space we had available was just not practical. Like most train rooms, it's a bit of a tip. Everything gets dumped in here because it is the spare box room. There's a nice little work area there. Tend to keep the windows closed because we get full sun this time of day and it gets so warm in here, and the curtains just stop you getting blinded while you're working. That's my everyday laptop with the spare one underneath, which has the E-Link software on. The E-Link unit is actually there, and of course all the power supplies. Cupboards to put stuff in. My other passion is collecting Land Rovers, model Land Rovers. So we've got quite a lot of them. Been doing that for a lot of years. I may do some videos on these Land Rovers, especially these Carrarama ones, because there's so many variations over the years in the castings and that it's very hard to find information on the internet. So I might share what I've learnt, just so that other people can get some pleasure from the hobby as well. Right, so that's that. As I say, most of the locos are DCC sound, being weathered with weathering powders. That was one of the early attempts at weathering, but you learn as you go along. As you can see, all the track's been ripped up and just roughly laid just to check that things work. The old tank loco there, that's the right word for it. That was one of my early weathering attempts. That is actually DCC fitted, which was a bit of a challenge, but we managed it anyway. So there you have it. Eventually it'll get done. But I'm in no rush. We'll play with it for a while, check that I'm happy with the track layout. There might be some alterations to be made, but we'll see how we go. This rake of carriages here, if you've been following the blog I do on RM Web, we're building a slate layout for Diane. That's the missus, of course. And these were purchased, so once we've removed those, we'll be able to put the loaded slate wagons on, so this rake will stand at the front. They probably won't move, it'll just be a static display, but it's how they used to transport the loaded slate wagons away down to the ports, usually on a standard gauge railway, but not always. But they're just parked there for the time being whilst we get all the rest sorted. Okay. Right, just to bring us back to the article that was in the magazine. These photos were taken well over about 15 months ago. So since then, a lot more work's been done. Typically the cliff at the top here rises up, and also at the bottom, if I can get it on the camera, it comes more rounded off to give it a more complete feel. But other than that, not a great deal of changes this year. Obviously the front, that was made into a cliff, and all the badges transferred around the corner. As I say, so it gives it a more complete finished package. It looks a lot better, and really pleased how it's turned out. That's about it. we shall take the cameras down to Gaydon, and assuming we're allowed to film inside the venue, we'll bring you a bit of film of that. That's subject to time. If we're so busy we might not even get a chance to do that, but we'll do our best. So, hope you've enjoyed this update, and we'll see you in update 10. Bye bye for now.